We are nearly a year and a half into this pandemic. No one could have foreseen the tremendous impact this virus would have on our social lives, mental health, and everyday freedoms we often took for granted. The interviews and stories that you are going to hear are from real people all around the world. Although each story is unique in many ways, they all share a common theme. They all share one of survival. These are the first-hand accounts of life in lockdown. These are the Quarantine Chronicles. This is the Quarantine Chronicles, hosted by Justice Hall.
State of mind of everyone, avoiding people, not meeting. But one or two of us friends, we decided that no, rather than, mentally getting affected. And, the guys, they take refuge in alcohol. And the females, either they will talk too much on the phone or, we have our own mechanisms. But you understand what I mean, or we will end up crying. So I said, no, I'm not going to cry. I am a born fighter. I have survived so far. Prior to COVID, the life was too good. Yes, it was, but there are always problems in life. There are stresses, different, and we are managing it. But this COVID, it literally doubled, tripled these things.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Quarantine Chronicles. I am your host, Justice. We are sharing stories with people all around the world about their life in quarantine. And on today's show, we have Anila. Welcome.
Thank you, Justice. It's a pleasure to be on this forum with you.
Thank you for joining me. So can you tell us a little about yourself, Anila? Can you tell us where you're from and what you do for a living?
Yeah, my full name is Anila Rahim. I'm from Pakistan and I live in Islamabad, which is the capital of Pakistan. Originally, I'm from the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, but it's almost been 20 years that I'm settled in Islamabad. I'm a development professional and I have, with 20 plus years of experience, I have worked with World Bank funded projects, USAID funded projects. My recent assignment was with United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. And I was managing the counter-narcotics and the transnational organized segment of that organization. So basically my work was with the law enforcement agencies and I was managing the counter-narcotics, illicit drug trafficking and precursor trafficking. So that's a brief intro. I was also the gender focal point for UNODC and ensuring the implementation of the gender plans and basically the women empowerment in their different programs across the projects and programs in the organizations. So that's the brief intro.
Man, that was heavy. That's a lot of stuff on your shoulders. That's
yeah.
All of those jobs were under the same umbrella.
See, with different organizations, like my specialization is monitoring and evaluation and project management. So I have handled the flood projects, then the earthquake disaster projects with different organizations. With UNODC, I have managed the flood recovery project plus the counter-narcotics. So I was with them for good 8 years. And why I'm saying I was with them, because back in June 2019, my contract got concluded. And then I thought that I should take a career break because, continuously I was working for 22 years. And I thought, let's take a short break because I love traveling. And I started traveling and obviously kept on applying for different positions here and there. And you know how it goes. In some organizations invites you for the interviews and some don't. And to cut the story short, I got a couple of offers, but then I wanted to remain in Islamabad. That was kind of, my love. I love that city. So I did not want to shift to another cities within the country. And here comes the pandemic. And I would say that further delayed and still is like kind of delaying the offers by different organizations. But suddenly, there are like funding constraints, and a lot of international organizations are under pressure because most of their staff are sitting at home and they are paying them their salaries. So less work, and it's almost been 1.5 years now. So they are not to blame, and people like us are also not to blame, because I did couple of consultancies, but it's not kind of a regular job because I'm more, I would say, tuned to the regular job rather than these short-term consultancies. And again, you'll have to look for another assignment. So that's the brief thing that what I'm going through.
So are you on hiatus right now, taking a break right now, or are you able to work online with the pandemic going on?
I'm not working currently. So I am open for different consultancies, but let's see what I get, because mostly whatever is kind of advertised these days, it's in the health sector. And I don't have the experience of the health sector. Everybody, even the organizations which don't have the same mandate, they are putting in their funds into the same sector. So it's kind of a very weird situation, I would say.
Yeah. So you're just kind of relaxing and waiting for that perfect opportunity to jump back in there, for the right job to
kind
come
of relaxing, worried as well. I won't lie. It's kind of a worry, fear, but now I'm managing it, because somehow having worked for 22 years, I have managed to save some reasonable amount, got some properties. So I'm sustaining my life through the rental properties. Then what I did was that put in some savings into the stocks. So at times it gives the benefit, at times it doesn't. So, I'm managing well. So worried, not too much worried. I'm single, independent. I can manage myself. Thanks God, there is like not many dependents on me. Otherwise, life would have been pretty difficult for me.
Yeah, well, that's good that you've the life and the career has enabled you to weather the storm for the most part.
Exactly.
It's not ideal to have to be
of course
on lockdown for 1.5 years, but thankfully you have some resources at your disposal.
Yes.
So since you're not working right now, what is your daily routine? What do you do to occupy your time throughout the day?
To be very honest, in the initial 3-4 months when the real lockdown started, and I'm referring to the 2020 March, April, May timeframe, was not sure how to handle it. It was because I live alone. One of my nephew was living with me, and most of the time we were indoors. And you are either sleeping or watching TV. That was my life for a couple of months. And suddenly I realized that that's not going to work because it's affecting me mentally. And it did. For how long you'll be sitting in front of that, I call it idiot box, because for how
Many
long,
people call it that.
how many serials would you watch? How, it was pretty difficult for me. And I did not want to, like my parents' house is in another city. So I'm kind of a very independent sort of a person. I said, no, I'm not going to take my problems to their, to add to their problems. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you are stressed out, eventually you will react in one way or the other way. I would say that was a blessing in disguise that I have a couple of friends and we decided to walk together. And that was by observing the SOPs and, for good 1.5 hour daily. So that was, we were walking in the evenings on the roads, not even in the parks, because even the parks were closed by the government. And I said, at least, having this human contact helped me a lot, helped my friends a lot. One or two, I won't say too many, because the female friends who are married with children, again, they were worried that you all yourself are also kind of worried that you should not put anybody's life at risk because you're not sure whether you're carrying the virus or not, or you can pick it up from someone. So, that for initially in the 3-4 months, that was the state of mind of everyone, avoiding people, not meeting. But one or two of us friends, we decided that no, rather than, mentally getting affected. And, the guys, they take refuge in alcohol, and the females, either they will talk too much on the phone or we have our own mechanisms, but you understand what I mean, or we will end up crying. So I said, no, I'm not going to cry. I am a born fighter. I have survived so far. Prior to COVID, the life was too good. Yes, it was, but there are always problems in life. There are stresses different, and we are managing it. But this COVID, it literally double, tripled these things. But again, I would say I managed well. I started exercising at home, having these different body project videos and doing exercises with it, walking. Another thing was, since I love traveling, so I started exploring different travel groups, the national ones. And the minute the lockdown were a bit relaxed, so I, made sure that I should go and travel and see the country, which I couldn't. I won't say that I've extensively traveled. I've been to 26 countries, and within Pakistan, even I have traveled well. But then there were certain areas which I couldn't visit. So I said, this is the best time. I'm not working, uh, already stressed out. And then we are not kind of very willing to put an extra effort into certain things. So I said, travel would be the best thing. I will meet new people. I will see new places. Pakistan is a beautiful country. So why not? So I visited a couple of areas in the north side.
So you've been
Yeah.
you've been joining groups for travel online. Do you have any particular location that you've been looking at, or just international
Yes,
travel
I've
in
been to.
general?
Yeah. I've been to, like, that was soon after when my contract got concluded. So soon after that, I went to the Park Afghan border in Wuhan. If you just Google it, you will get to know that is the close to the Park China border. So there are like two borders, and I wanted to explore that because normal days you go to the major cities. So that was kind of very adventurous thing for me to go with that group and see the Park China border, which is Khanjra border, and then the Park Afghan border, which is Wuhan border. From that, they are nearby, but two different locations.
Are you going with people from
Yeah,
the group? Or
two
okay,
different groups, two
well, that's
different
pretty
groups
cool.
each time. Even there was and when the real lockdown started, so then of course we had to cut down the travel. And in smaller group, the same group, we went to like one of another mountainous area of Pakistan. But that was in January, this January, and in which the lockdown was pretty relaxed. So we decided to go and just spend a couple of days over there. So that was kind of, you come back, you're out of your typical routine, and you can enjoy your time. But yes, I would say this 1.5 year, it was kind of a roller coaster. I will never say that, okay, all the time I was enjoying. No, there were times when I was really stressed, depressed. What's happening? How I'm going to manage my life? Because, in being a female, and then in a culture where you have to handle everything on your own. Other friends who are married, so husbands are there to take care of them. And I had to handle everything on my own. It was too much for me. Because when you're working, you're busy, you have friends, and suddenly your lifelines are cut down. You cannot meet your friends, you cannot hang out with them. Um, Again, there are like there's cost attached to everything. If you want to go out and take a cup of coffee, there is a cost attached to it. So managing that thing was a bit difficult. Initially, I handled it. Then I decided, because I had to save money, because I could see that because of this pandemic, there is less chance that I will get the job soon. It will be online assignment, maybe 2 months, 3 months, less amount of money that I will get. I decided to move to the other place, like which was low budget rental place. Nice of my landlord, he said, you just don't worry, you pay me the half rent and go downstairs, because he settled in Canada. And it was a blessing in disguise that he opened up his house for me, and he said, you just live, because I'm alone. And there now another family came and they are living upstairs. So I have some family within the house now, and it's relatively much better now.
Well, that's good. I mean, that the opportunity was there, but it's crazy that sometimes these things happen, these unknown events that are completely out of our control. We feel like we're doing everything right, we're working hard and staying committed and saving money and doing all those things, and then something happens and we think we have everything in order, and then something happens and we have to completely change up our lives. And so I can understand why this time has been stressful. It's been challenging for a lot of people, just the loneliness and also the uncertainty of when are we going to get back to normal life without having to worry about curfews and distance and everything like that. So
you
go on?
Pointed it, rightly so. One, loneliness. Secondly, this uncertainty. You are not sure. You plan things. It's not. Nothing is working. There's several things. But then I would say, what I learned in the process was to remain patient. You know, yes,
hard thing.
Either we take refuge in our religion and God, or either, because everybody does that. Yes. I would say that was partially, I would say whatever is happening, that's, God has a plan for me. So why to worry? Because worrying was not doing any good to me. Rather than crying the entire night or sitting alone, I started enjoying that thing. I started at whoever I can, access to. So I started talking to people instead of messaging, because, another issue is we are not from the millennial age. We are not very used to these gadgets. The younger lot is, I'm like 48, 49. So they...
All right, I can hear you. Oh, you're coming
back.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was probably some...
Okay. All right, there we go.
Okay. Okay. Back to life. That's another issue.
Sometimes the electronics,
you are chatting in, because of these power failure or internet failure, but thanks God, at least internet was there in this entire time frame. Otherwise, we would have started killing each other, literally. That was our only entertainment at home.
Yes. You never think about, or you never appreciate it until it's gone. You have the internet to be able to go online. And like you say, if this were to happen 10, 15 years ago, before we had Netflix and Facebook and all these other social apps where we can stay engaged with people, there would be a lot more people going into depression, a lot more people just ending it. But thankfully, we have even Zoom and Skype, where even though you can't be in the same room with someone, you can actually call them and reach out to them. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. No, it is. Whoever invented these different Insta or Facebook or FaceTime and Zoom, and I would say they rescued us from severe depression, because not everybody would come and meet you, particularly when it comes to this pandemic thing. People, they worry. Though in Pakistan, I would say there were 3 different categories. One who believed that there is a virus, and they were observing the SOPs. Then there was another category who said, okay, it's there, but God will save us. They were more kind of taking refuge in their religion. And then there was a third category who was making fun of it and said it's a foreign conspiracy. So, we had to live with it, and whatever we could do, where we could, manage, like in the malls or in the indoor places, we were wearing masks. I was observing the SOPs. But in the parks, I was a bit relaxed because I wanted to enjoy the nature. I'm an outdoor person. I did not want, because the whole day you are sitting at home, and then when you go out, you're wearing this mask and you can't breathe properly. So that
Yeah.
was a bit too much for me. I said, it's better that with safe distance in open areas, you can exercise certain things.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
the
thanks God I
important thing.
survived so far.
Yeah. You have the being outdoors, being able to kind of relax. You still have it on, you just kind of pull it down a little bit, and you keep a little distance. For the ones that are skeptical and consider it a conspiracy, and that's everywhere, not just Pakistan. You have it in America
Yeah, of
going
course
hard, and but it's like, even if you don't believe that there's something wrong or something dangerous, look out for everybody else. Do it for your neighbors, the ones that are afraid. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's annoying having the mask on, and then in the summertime it's going to be hot. Just do it for your neighbors. And when you're in your space, you do whatever you want. Take the mask off, run around, whatever. But while you're around other people, take into consideration the other people around you, because
of course, we are educated people. So we have to, no matter what, how it's hard for us to observe. But yes, we have to. Following the SOP was not that difficult, if I talk about myself, because I by default was in quarantine. And even when I was going out, so that was, I was receiving these different guidance from the government, from the UN agencies, from my friends. So it was not a big deal. The main thing was to handle the loneliness, not doing something productive, because, I've worked at very good positions. And suddenly you think that now I'm useless. Probably when everything will get back to normal, I will be a misfit in this society.
Yeah.
So, having that kind of thoughts, I say, oh no, where have I landed now? What am I going to do? So obviously, I did a couple of courses on Coursera. You take refuge in different things, because fear is still there. Fear is still there, because once we go out in the market, what will happen? The world has changed drastically. Things are not the same, and probably would not be the same. So let's see what happens. Currently, the good thing is I'm in sane mind, making an effort to sustain myself and remaining in a very positive, frame of mind. That's the best thing.
That's all you can do. And it's we have no choice. Patience is a tough thing. And I think you said something important, keeping your mind active and busy, because we don't know when this thing is going to conclude. And so you're exercising, you're traveling, you're talking to people, and actually keeping the communication aspect going. And that's important, because spending so much time isolated in the home and stuff, away from people, when we get back to being able to be social, how are we going to do it and not feel weird about it? So I think, just engaging, you're taking courses and all these things, all of these things are feeding the mind to keep you, distracted, I guess you could say, distracted from the fact that we're in a lockdown, and we're in a quarantine and everything. So that's a good thing to help you fight the depression and the fear and sadness.
And it's not that just that I'm helping myself. I'm trying to help my friends as well, because a couple of my diplomat friends, they are in this country alone, and they are not allowed to visit their offices. They are going through the same. So then you have to make a balance, and you just give them some emotional support, or you try to be with them, like obviously by observing the SOPs, and so that they also don't, because it's a, I would say, two-way thing. You are giving and you are taking something in return, and it's a positive thing. So again, I would say my experience says that we should focus on the human contact, because previously we were running after material things. I have to achieve this. I have to reach this position. I have to gain this. I want a house. I've got everything with me. But what about the human contact? How many friends are there to support, actually are there to support me? Because not everybody who claims is your friend when you are in good time, with, having everything with you. Not necessarily when there is a tough time, the same people will come back to you and say, okay, how are you, Anila? Are you doing well? So it's very, I would, I have started valuing more the my relationships rather than the other things. Those doesn't matter anymore. It just helps me to sustain. Thanks God I have those. Otherwise, the problem would have tripled in my case. Because you have a place to live in, you can give the rent, you have a car, you have some savings, you're trying to earn a bit to sustain your monthly expenses, and you're good. Even let me share this thing with you that, after 3 or 4 months, because suddenly you're indoors, you're not getting ready for the office daily. So when I opened the closets and I looked at my dresses and shoes and purses, and I said, what have I done? Why was I investing so much in these things? And you're just looking at your dresses and you think, okay, after 4 months, 5 months, a year, once the lockdown's open, will I be able to wear these dresses? Will the fashion would remain the same?
Yeah. Where am I going to go?
Yeah. And when when the lockdown was a bit relaxed and I went to the mall, so you're not going to believe what I ended up buying: night suits and the gym suits, because I was using more such stuff rather than the formal dresses. Still, we are not going out for, like, it's just the family gatherings. There are no national days or the embassy days or the official, like, get-togethers. So where am I gonna wear those formal dresses? Purely the girl talk, but yeah, these are the issues which you realize. Okay, why
I
to
have
waste
all the
money
stuff
on
that's not important. Yeah, and I understand, because I was the same way. It's like jeans and dress pants and dress shirts and ties that have been stowed in a suitcase for the past year and a half because there's nowhere to go. And so it's been sweats and t-shirts and sweaters. Your priorities shift in this time. It's like I have all these different things, but what's really important is the connection. Just having someone that's going to be there to check in on you. Hey, I just want to make sure that you're doing okay today. Not okay, what new bag can I buy? So I think that's an important thing for a lot of people during this time. It's just I miss that connection. I miss that interaction with people. Do you think that we'll get back to, I won't even think we'll get back to normal, but do you think that we'll get back to some normalcy in the near future? Or do you think that this is going to last for a couple more years?
To be very honest, it will. That frame of mind, because, we as human beings, everybody wants normalcy. Everybody wants to live the same life that they were living. Be it Pakistan, Americans, Europeans, everybody wants that normalcy. But unfortunately, and I would say media has played a negative role in it. They have literally injected this fear into us. And now we think that things will never be the same. It might be in small little places within the families, maybe within that particular city, or some people having this, like, obviously we are not now tired of it. And we said, okay, to hell with it. It's better that I die instead of, getting death in loneliness, or, by just observing or having so much, what do they call it? These, I'm even forgetting the name of these different sanitizers. And literally, I've never used so much sanitizer in my entire life the way we have used in the last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So even that is not good for your health. And it's that, mentally it has really affected us. So it will be a 50-50 thing. You're not going to believe, back in November, I was sitting in my terrace enjoying the sun, and I said, for how long am I going to sit like this? So I Googled, that's the easy thing. Google, contacted a travel agency, applied. And literally, what were my words? I'm not like this. I said, no matter what, I want to travel, take me along. Literally, those were my words. And he started laughing. I said, okay, ma'am, we will try our level best. So you just send your documents to us. I got the visa for South Africa, unfortunately, and I got it in March. Unfortunately, South Africa came into the category C. And, I lost some money, I would say, but I couldn't travel, because somehow in my mind was, probably the world is going to end. Whatever I enjoy in my life, I should do that. And for me, travel and is the best thing that that's my medicine.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take it more, because you are working like a donkey. We will continue working like a donkey our entire life. And when we will look back, there will be less time. Probably your health is not such. And look at this situation. Just look at this. You have everything with you, but you can't do certain things which you wanted to do then. My whenever we exchange views with whenever I do that with our friends, I said, just please, whatever you want to do it. Obviously, keeping yourself safe, your friends, your family safe, but just do it. We don't know what's going to happen the next minute. We don't know. Prior to that, we were taking things for granted. Our relationships, our jobs, many things. Even this independence of meeting people, hugging people, it's a gesture. Every human being feels good. Particularly in our Pakistani culture, whenever you meet people, you shake hands, you hug them, right? That's a gesture. And in many countries, it's the same. And suddenly you get to know that you cannot even shake hands. You cannot hug them. You cannot even be close to your own father. My father got sick back in September, and it was kind of us. We all were so stressed out, and because the culture is such that a lot of people will come and see him, and if till the time they don't see the patient, they will not be happy, I would say. Everybody wants their, showing their presence to the person, that, okay, you are important to us and we are here to meet you, greet you. And we were supposed, our job was to keep him away from people because of his age. He's 83 years old. So, these were different kind of stresses, different. And then again, in every family, you have younger children, teenagers, making them and kind of understand and to cope up with the situation. Though their coping mechanisms are better than us, but even then, I would say that's an impatient generation. They want everything to be done with a click of the button, and
microwave.
They were, and like they are more under stress than us, because we are used. We have seen. We were kind of like more into exploring the things, more into the traditional things, I would say.
Yeah, it has been tough on a lot of the young ones. Yeah, the depression level has been high with young folks, because they grew up in the technology age, the freedom to do whatever age, and then to now have that stopped and cut off. It's like, oh my goodness, my nature, it's against my nature. We're a little older, we grew up in the slower life. So just sitting back and just reading a book or relaxing, we can handle that. We don't necessarily enjoy it all the time, but we can handle it a little better. So it has been a little difficult for younger people. And that's why it's important, like you were saying, to find something to occupy your mind, so that you don't slip into that, oh my goodness, is this going to last forever? Are we ever going to get through this? What am I going to do? do something, read a book, go online. Google is beautiful. Before, you had to go to a library and flip through cards to try to find information. Now you just type anything in online and boom, it pops up.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
that's what we need.
Another thing which, sorry, you were saying something?
No, I was saying that's what we need, just to keep something to occupy ourselves.
Yeah, another thing which saved me was that the Turkish serials. I started watching that at night, because obviously at night, for how long you're gonna study and for how long you are gonna exercise, there's certain 1 hour, 2 hour time frame, and most of the time, even if you are talking to people, in certain cases, even that is not very good, because you don't know if you are just dumping your emotional baggage on somebody else, you can make them stressed out. So uh, watching those Turkish serials was kind of another good thing that I did. And yeah, still I would say travel was the best part. That was the best part. I still would want to travel, but unfortunately, not internationally. The minute certain things gets relaxed, then I will travel.
So that's the
And
one
of
thing you're
course,
looking forward to doing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, because I don't know, job I will continue doing. That's not the, but my entire focus won't be on the job. Primarily, I have cancelled so many things because I have a conference to organize, or because I have a meeting, or there are so many things which stops you. But that was like another good phase of my life, in which I enjoyed, interacted with very good people, particularly from the law enforcement, like Interpol officials. And so that was another plus thing. Now I can look back and cherish those things, those interactions. Obviously, I learned a lot in the process. Now this is another phase of life. Yesterday, I was talking to my sister, and she said, "We are living negativity." And I said, "No, we are living life. It's not negativity, because life is not just positive things. It's positive. It's a combination of positive and negative things. And we are living life. This is another phase. God has kind of, this is a situation, and let's see how we get out of this situation, how we can help people, and how we can help ourselves. Because until and unless we are not in sane mind, how can you help others?
Yeah.
Throughout my life, I have tried to, first I have to make myself strong enough, and kind of take the pain, or come out of certain situations strong. Only then I can help others. Because if I'm devastated, somebody, I'm not at the receiving end, I want to be at the giving end. And that's my, I would say, strong feeling that no, I'm not going to go back to my father and, okay, help me. No. Yes, he will, for sure. The day I go there, he will. But no, I'm a survivor. I should be the one that people come to me and say, okay, now help us. And I do that. It's not that they will come to me. I keep an eye on certain friends and my family members, and particularly the younger ones, because for me, they are the dear ones, and they need help. They are more in kind of need support to survive within such kind of situations.
But that's a good
We
thing
have
that you
lived our
are.
life.
Yeah.
We have lived our life.
Not done
Don't
living it
say
yet,
I'm young, but we have lived our life.
Yeah, we've been around the block a couple of times, and yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we are a source of support and strength for the younger generations who are struggling during this time. And the fact that you say, yes, we're not in a negative moment, we're living life, and life comes with good and bad, and it's how you manage those tough times that truly make you. And that's the part that we're being tested so much right now. How are you going to turn this tough time into a triumph? So I think that's the perfect message for everyone that's out there, that's fighting and suffering through this, because we're all going through this together. We all have different,
it's a global thing.
Capacities. Yeah, exactly.
It's a global thing. You cannot even blame one individual, one country, no, it's happening everywhere. We all are, for the first time, I would say, at least in my life, for the first time, we are sharing the same thing. In different countries, irrespective of our religions, irrespective of our genders, whatever you say, we are going through the same feeling, irrespective of the age even. It's very good that everybody has their own coping mechanisms. There were weak times, there were strong times. We are struggling, and we will, because that's why we are on this planet.
To be there for each
we
other.
have to live. We have to live.
Yeah. And we will survive. We'll get through it. We will get through it.
Of course, we are very resilient people. That's why
the important thing is leaning on each other, depending on each other. When you're starting to feel weak, having someone there just to kind of confide in.
There is no harm in asking for help. There is, because certain people, there's no harm. Why are we so kind of trying to prove that no, I don't have a problem?
Yeah,
we are human beings. We at times, and it's again, both genders or even the transgenders, we all are living individuals. We can have issues, mental, physical, whatever. Why can't we ask for help? It can be even, a normal chat. The way, like, we are chatting, this is an excellent utilization of our time. I did not know that I'll be having such a productive exchange of views with a person who is sitting somewhere in Istanbul. What's the harm in it? It's a plus, and now, it's a chain. Literally, I'm so happy to talk to you, and then, this is such a great initiative. I don't know how you started it, and what was your intent behind it, but this is excellent thing.
This is I started this.
We are sharing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to know this.
I wanted to give a platform to people because I know that so many people are struggling right now with depression and going through different things, and everyone has a story. And oftentimes we give all of our attention to celebrities and people that are, high profile individuals, but the planet is comprised of billions of people who are just regular people. And in this time, we need to understand that we may be isolated from each other, but we're all in this together and we're fighting together. So by sharing the stories of people all around the world, your message may be able to resonate with someone that my message can't reach, and my message can resonate with someone that your voice can't reach. So I wanted a place where everyone can just come and gain some strength and inspiration from other people's stories during the quarantine.
No, it's a great initiative, I must say. I'm wondering why I did not come up with this idea. I should have started talking to people on Zoom. Because whatever we see on these different social media, it's just certain things are very nice, but some of the things are like they glorify it. Not everything is good. I used to, because I have, that was my area of expertise, monitoring and evaluation. I said, when we give a report and everything is good, this means there is some serious issue with that entire project. Everything can't be good. There must be something which we are hiding. Right?
Yeah, true.
You know how organizations work. They always show the best to the donors. No, there are always challenges. There are always problems. And how you deal with it, that's another. And that in itself is a, case study or story to tell. So same goes in this situation. If I portray that, oh no, I was strong enough and I never cried and I was, everything was like excellent for me. No, it was not the case. Even, when you are like at home, because if you are having a position, then people treat you differently. And when you are not working, suddenly the people reactions, the way they, connect with you is different. Or either there will be no connection because they don't see any benefit in it. So, we go through a lot of different things. And thanks God, I would say we are a lot of people out there would be they are coping, they are struggling. And we, like you are, talking to people, and it's will bring out a lot of positive energy. We should not surrender.
Exactly.
That's the point.
Don't
give up. We are not going to surrender.
Never surrender, never retreat. I just thought of something.
Yeah.
The good times reveals the fans. The bad times reveals the friends. And that's what we're seeing. The people that are there when you have a lot of money, when you have a job and you're doing well, those are the ones that just want to be in your circle, in your energy, just to consume from you. But when you're going through something and you need someone, the friends and the family are the ones that are giving. And that's what we need to get better at doing, is finding those family members, finding those friends, those true, genuine people who are going to be in our corner when we need them most. So, and we're not
automatically filtered out.
Yes.
It automatically filtered out.
Yes, exactly.
Now I know who are my friends. Now I know.
Exactly.
And still, I would say in this entire process, I will make more friends, good friends. Of course, the family is always there. But yes, there can be issues with them as well. But no, I would say now I know what is important. Prior to that, you are just spending your time from 9 to 5. You are in office. You are struggling with the office politics. You have certain dreams which you are trying to achieve, and for that you are ready to, even at the stake of your health, you will say, no, I have to achieve this. Now I know what is more important. If I'm alive, if I'm in good health, I will be able to do everything. If I'm not in good health, if I'm not in positive frame of mind, everybody will just turn their back to me and they say, okay, let her, it's not our problem.
Yeah. She'll let her deal with it by herself. So
yeah,
the community, it's going to take all of us to get through this. So, and we will. Well, I thank you very, very, very much, Anila, for joining me and sharing your story. It is fantastic. And your
thank you very much, because I thoroughly enjoyed this thing. Initially, I was a bit worried. What am I going to tell? That there are always certain apprehensions. But you made me so comfortable, and it's just so good to exchange these different experiences. And good that we are on this planet together, and we are the survivors.
Yeah.
We are going to fight it back.
Exactly. We're going to stay positive and stay persistent and keep going forward. Yes, so I wish you all the best and health, and hopefully this thing ends very soon so you can get back to your travels and continuing to connect with people.
And if I happen to be in Istanbul, I'll definitely try to meet you in person.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for joining me on another episode of the Quarantine Chronicles. Remember, you only have one life, so make sure you do it justice.
Hi, how are you, Justice?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Can you tell me how to pronounce your name?
Anila Rahim.
Anila. All right.
Have you heard of Manila country?
Manila? Yes.
So it's Anila.
Anila. Okay.
Just remove the M.
Very simple. Very easy to remember.
Or vanilla ice cream. So just remove the I.
Even sweeter. Even sweeter. Very good.
I would like to thank all of the wonderful and brave people who have trusted me with their stories. Although there are billions of people on this planet, the past year and a half has made many of us feel alone and isolated. My hope is that by sharing our tragedies and triumphs, we can begin to reconnect and understand that we are not in this alone, and that we are all in this together. If you would like to be a part of the Quarantine Chronicles community and share your story, click on the interview scheduler in the link description below. Winston Churchill said, "If you're going through hell, keep going." We're not going to let this pandemic beat us. Let's keep pressing and keep progressing. Justice done.